White House has condemned Assad's forces for taking over Qusayr and has called on Hezbollah and Iran to withdraw forces from Syria. This as Syrian rebels have attacked Lebanon. I'm now joined by Lawrence Freeman, Executive Intelligence from the Executive Intelligence Review magazine, for some analysis on the situation. Thank you very much for being with us. What is the possibility of this strike leading into a spillover to the rest of the region? I mean, are we seeing this already?
Yes, and I think this is the intention of the policy, is there will be a spillover into Lebanon, possibly Jordan. We've already seen it in Israel, Iraq. I mean, you're going to see a destruction of the entire region. Nation states and countries will be toppled and thrown into chaos. And that's part of the policy. This is the regime change policy of Tony Blair. This is what we saw in Libya beginning in 2011, which is now playing itself out today, where Libya has turned into an al-Qaeda state, and the overthrow of Gaddafi has caused catastrophic conditions throughout the Sahel, especially in Mali, Niger, and Nigeria. So we're in for a very bad period ahead unless we stop this regime change policy of the British.
Now, focusing on the rebels themselves, why would they be striking Lebanon? I mean, we know that this is Assad's main ally, but why are they branching out on their own?
Well, I don't think we know. I don't know every particular aspect of the thinking. I mean, some people are saying it's because of Hezbollah's support with the Syrian government in recapturing, I guess, Qusayr. So that may be one of the surface reasons given. Maybe there's provocateurs who are doing this, but this is what was to be expected. And this is not a surprise to any of us who follow the situation. This is the plan, this is the policy. And this is, unless we stop it, it's going to continue and could escalate to a major war and confrontation with Russia over Syria.
Now, you've touched on this a little bit, but the White House has just released a statement condemning Assad's assault on Qusayr and calls on Hezbollah and Iran to withdraw their forces from Syria. You talked about part of the plan. What do you think is Washington's next move?
Well, this is really a horrible joke, if you will, by President Obama to criticize the government of Syria for retaking territory inside its own country. However, if you want to get an idea of how bad things could get, look at the fact that President Obama has just appointed Susan Rice as Secretary of the National Security Advisor and Samantha Powers as the new UN ambassador. Rice is a fanatical follower of the British policy of Tony Blair, and so is Samantha Powers. These people are the ones who push the responsibility to protect humanitarian intervention. Rice was trained in in British schools, goes back to them to lecture. Samantha Powers was funded by George Soros in her career. So these two individuals assuming office in the United States shows you Obama's commitment to this policy of overthrowing the Assad regime.
And briefly, is it too late for diplomacy? The peace talks have been rescheduled to an unknown date. Do you think they'll happen at all?
Well, this is something that we have to all hope for. I mean, it was a good move by Secretary of State Kerry, but he's not strong enough to stand up to Obama, to stand up to Rice, to stand up to others who don't want this. So, and I know the Russians are for it. So we have to hold it out as a possibility because it's the only solution. But you cannot say, as President Obama and the administration in my country has said, that one of the preconditions for peace in the future is the removal of Assad. Assad is the elected president of Syria. No one else is. So if you put a condition, his removal, how serious are you about really finding a solution? Right. And even the chaos now could be far worse if we escalate to actually war among the superpowers.
All right. Thank you very much for your thoughts. That was Lawrence Freeman, Executive Intelligence Review magazine from Baltimore, USA. Thanks for being with us here on RT.
Thank you very much.